4 set M19. Let's build some decks.
A renewal. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Doomquill. Do you get
Do
extra
I
votes?
get extra votes if I use sub notification to one option too?
You do get extra votes if you are a sub for all the voting. All right, what do you think of our pack? Or is he gone? Oh, we could do knights.
I think knights seem really good.
Valiant Knight and Lena Selfless Champion. How come this guy isn't a Bear Knight? He looks like a Bear Knight, doesn't he? Gorkla, Terror of Qualsima, the Bear Knight.
Doesn't wear armor.
I mean,
Our modest fellowship expands.
That's why it's not a knight.
Praise the sub.
thank you, lazy evaluation. All right, so these are our rares. Nothing too exciting there, honestly. Lena's not that strong. Valiant Knight's not that strong. Goreclaw's okay, but not great. You need a lot of stuff to go with it. You really would like multiple copies of it, and blah, blah, blah. Dark Dweller Oracle is not good at all, and the Sacrifice Synergy deck in red-black is actually fairly difficult to build, although I guess it's strong if you can get it going, but like there's too many. All the enablers of this are hard to get working, right? And honestly, this effect tends not to be that good as a whole. Metamorphic Alteration's bad, and Wind Reader Sphinx is decent but very slow. So we're not getting a lot of indications from a rare what we're going to do here. What's going to really fill it out for us is like what our commons are. And like when I see stuff like this on the page, anyways, let's switch view. Let's take a look this way. So white looks like Falcons are fine. If we have like an axe to enable them, they're good. If I'm playing auras, they're okay. But I'm probably not playing Falcons unless I have one of those two win conditions, like either enablers such as heroics, the charge stuff we were running in the last deck, or Marauder's Axe or stuff like that. Take Vengeance is mediocre removal. Bonds is very good. Double Aetherfield Artificer means we could maybe do Artifact Matter or something. Priest is fine. Gallant Cab is quite good. Triple Inspired Charge there. Starcrowned Stag, very strong. One of the best white commons out there. Valiant Knight, single Angel of Dawn, Lena. White looks pretty strong.
I agree.
Blue is double Omen Speaker, Pioneer. Single Disperse, we want to run it. Cancel, double Dwindle. Horizon Scholar, and then Wind Reader Sphinx. That's not even bad. Very anti-synergetic with our white. Like blue is controlling there, and the white is quite aggressive. Do we have any Artifact Matter stuff there? We've got an Artificer. We had the one Pioneer. We'll see what our actual artifacts are in a minute. Black with double Child of Night, not something we care about. Single Fell Spectre. Gravedigger's good. Strangling Spores. Single Lich's Caress. Black looks pretty mediocre. We have the two removal pieces which we'd like to play, but the rest of that, I'll play a Fell Spectre. Higher Blade's fine. Gravedigger's decent. But I don't love Strangling Spores. That's pretty bad.
A new subscriber arrives. It fills you with determination.
Patrick Stewart, welcome to the channel. Big fan of Patrick Stewart. My mother loves him as an actor, so I'm glad to have him here. Double Shocks, Dark Dweller Oracle. Don't love Shock in this format. Problem is it doesn't kill 1/3s. That's the biggest problem with Shock right now. It kills a fair number of the flyers. It's okay. Dark Dweller Oracle, whatever. Brute's great. Do we have white-red aggro again? Double Shock, Pyromancer, Brutes, Dark Dweller Oracle. If we go, and going fast and sealed is even stronger than it is elsewhere. Single Electrify, another Ogre, Siegebreaker Giant to finish it up, Spark Tongue Dragon. Let's take a look at green. Double Druid of the Cowl is pretty promising. Rabid Bite, Titanic Growth, Colossal Majesty. Do we have creatures in green? Goreclaw and a Wolves and a Bailiff. And the Disciple.
I do like me a Disciple.
Yeah, I do too, but we don't seem to actually have anything to ramp up into, despite having double elves. Do we have any high-end anywhere? Like, I guess the Spark Tongue Dragon?
Yeah, that's about it.
2 Arcane Encyclopedias, though, if we can ramp for draw. 2 Manaliths. So no artifact creatures.
No artifacts at all.
I know, we have all the Artifact Matter shit, too. That sucks. It's literally Suspicious Bookcase and the Aviation Pioneers are only artifact creatures, despite 2 Aetherfield Artificers. Boo. That would have been super cool.
That's rough.
Alright, so my initial thoughts are white-blue or possibly green-white. Green-white doesn't look like we have much of an aggro thing there, so we'll build the decks and then take a look what we're going to play. So double Luminous Bonds, double Falcon, no axes, so Falcons are a lot less interesting to me. I'm not sure they'll make the cut. I'm just going to throw in the rough white cards I'm thinking about playing here. Not very excited about these. Do we have any other knights? We don't even have the knight synergies either, do we? We like didn't get the Drill Masters or anything else. Lena's a knight, so that's something. So we could,
yeah, the cavalries are knights.
Yeah, the Cavs are knight, that's right. And when you pump Your dice get double strike. Oh, it's not double. Okay. I was thinking for some reason it should have 6 power, but she doesn't. I was thinking she might get more value out of her sacrifice, but it doesn't actually look that way. So that's the white cards we want to run. What if we put blue cards in here as well? Like super passive blue cards with aggressive white cards. And play like all of our opponents today. Cover all the bases. 2 dwindles, 2 luminous bonds. Man, we have Scholar of Stars too. We have more artifacts matters, but nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I think that deck wants to play like the Encyclopedia though.
I mean, this is the downside of our white. There's no 2 drops here. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Encyclopedias would draw for that. This looks pretty bad right now with no 2 drops, no 3 drops between blue and white. We can't run this color combination. There just isn't enough 2s and 3s there. I mean, maybe. We'll see. Let's look at the rest of it. What gives us 2s and 3s? Black has some very weak 2s and 3s. And a little bit of removal.
Red gives us 2s and 3s.
Well, red might give us 2s and 3s without having to go green. Oops, what I just cut. I think our white cards are very strong. I don't want to not play an Angel of Dawn, Gallant Cav, Dwarven Priest, Starstrong Crag. I don't love Valiant Knight, but it can be a win condition. So blue looking pretty sketchy. We can always splash for like a Horizon Scholar or Wind Reader Sphinx. What were our duels? No blue.
Just the Manolith.
Double Reliquary Tower. Blech. Okay.
That's like $2 on paper.
Green has Druids of the Cow. No 2 drops besides that. I mean, they're very good 2 drops. No 3 drops at all. They just not give us a low end on this?
Nope.
Okay. What's red got? Shock, Shock, Dark Dweller Oracle, Pyromancer for 2s, Brute ×2 for 3s, Gutter Snipe for 3s. With double shock? Just shock face, do 4 each time. Not even bad. Another Ogre. Electrify on 4.
Play the Lava Axe at 7 damage.
Can't make me do that. This is 39 cards right now.
Play the Giant and the Spark Tongue.
We're gonna play the same fucking deck we just played.
It's what we were given. They wanted to play sealed.
I know.
It's what we get.
But it's like without the motivators, we still have the goblins. We don't have the axe. Not that we ever drew axe in the entire 9 games we played in that. I don't think it ever showed up.
I mean, I think the only other combination is green-white. Or no, sorry, green-white, green-red. I think green-red is the only other option.
We give up Luminous Bonds, Starcrown. We give up all of our 4 drops here. And what do we get in return if we run in green? We get Bristling Boar, Rabid Bite, Druid of the Cowl. So we get a better early game there. We have a Titanic Growth, which I wouldn't mind playing. We could look at a tricolor thing. We have Colossal Majesty, although not a ton of payoffs for that. We've got a Gift of Paradise.
You get the thing that turns into dragons.
Yeah. Goreclaw, Thornhide Wolves. Where did my Goreclaw go over there? Vigilant Bailiff.
We could splash white.
Draconic Disciple.
With the Tranquil Expanse, or just go full Naya 3-color.
Could we go Naya here? So cut Falcons. Don't want to play them anyways. Maybe keep the Take Vengeance in the bonds. We don't have to go Luminous Bond or Inspired Charge video this because we're not really trying to go super wide. We can just play value creatures here. I mean, the +2/+1s are so much worse without token generators. Although we do have Lena. So probably not playing Priest.
Comes out. Yeah.
Am I playing this? I mean, I guess. Probably not even playing Lena here. This is 44 right now. Do we have enough modifiers for Colossal Majesty? We've got Ogre. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, barely. Probably not. Probably better run.
Stuff, I would rather play Encyclopedia over Majesty.
I like Majesty in general more than I like Encyclopedia, but I think in this deck with not enough enablers. How do we win with this deck? Playing all the shitty colors and shitty cards here. How do we actually win? We don't have enough damage to go through in the ground.
You make flyers? I don't know.
We have 1 flyer.
No. You have the Angel.
Angel, Spark Tongue, and the Disciple for 7 mana.
Yeah.
And we get a 5/5 token creature.
Card's great. It's better when you have 2 of them.
I guess we run Siege Breaker. This deck's not winnable. You can't win with this. I'd rather go white-red and put in some Lava Axes. I mean, all right. Is there more good stuff we can go here? I wouldn't willing to play that deck. That deck's terrible.
Yeah, I don't think that there's a lot of other good things that you get to do at all.
No.
Blue? No.
The overall distribution of these cards didn't end up being particularly good for for a deck. Like all the fun stuff just isn't here. We're missing all of these synergetic stuff again. I mean, we could splash flyers. Like we don't have them. We had no blue dual lands, right? Right.
Just have the Manalith.
And we have no blue draw, so it gets like I don't want to run Manalith in deck without draw to make up for it. Yeah. Like the only draw card we have, I think, is the Scholar. The artifact triggered Scholar. I think that and Bone to Ash are literally the only cards in our deck that say draw card, I think.
Except for the Majesty.
Yes.
And the Encyclopedias.
Yes. Oh, Encyclopedias though. Jesus, that'd be so slow. Big flyers with Encyclopedias to get to your draw and Manalith. All right, what's the full like 4-color to do for us? All the good stuff. We're gonna look at.
Just want to play all the removal.
I want to play all the good cards. Yeah. Say we played all the good cards. I'm optimistically calling Thornhide Wolves a good card here. Yeah. I mean, Majesty gets better when we're playing all the big cards.
Rabid Bite.
Yeah. Druids are good in a deck like this. Like having ramp and then having draw would be fine. Do I like Suspicious Bookface? No, I really hate that card.
I don't like that card either.
It's like it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. If it's a wall that protects you while giving your creatures unblockable, it wouldn't tap. Like if it was just give one, like maybe if its ability was like activate for 3 and didn't tap it, like target creature can't be blocked this turn. You may only use the ability once per turn. I think the card would be totally good. The fact it taps makes that card fucking bad every time. All right, what are we looking at? We're looking at 2s and 3s.
More good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, is Onaki Ogre good stuff?
Not in the good stuff deck. It's not.
Yeah, we want blockers. I'm gonna throw them in anyways for now. I mean, we might not be as insane as actually running black in here, but let's pretend for a minute that we are.
Gravedigger's good stuff.
Yeah, he is.
Are we gonna break the auto suggest lands programming with this deck?
Probably.
Nice.
Casual Bone to Ash. I mean, we're running gun stuff, Metamorph of Alterations in. Like, is there enough good stuff to justify this? Got all the colors in here.
Stag's good.
Do we? I know, but is it good enough to play?
I don't know.
Like, what are we trying to? Okay.
It's a 5-mana 3/3 flyer. That's fine. In sealed, that card's fine.
I don't think we can play black, even with good stuff. It's just too far away. The stuff we're splashing for is Licious Caress. I don't think that's good. Okay. Doesn't explain much. Yeah, I met Joe Joe is a Oshkosh, I would say native, but I don't know if you grew up around this area. You live in this area. Okay.
Yeah, I've lived here for quite a while. I didn't grow up in this area though, but yeah, I've lived here for quite a while.
Not playing black. We got limited spawns. All right. So, in all seriousness though, if we tried to do the kind of control-oriented draw style decks, like Omen Speakers and Druid of the Cal are a good base for that. Maybe we run Shocks, maybe we don't. Our 3-drops are really sketchy. We don't have any defensive 3-drops. We could run Scholars.
We could play Control. We have the Encyclopedias, we have the counter spells, we have the removal. This thing about this pool is this pool has a ton of removal. It actually does. It's in a bunch of different colors, but it has a ton of removal.
Okay. I mean, if we're holding up Encyclopedias, counter spells are good because it's like you either counter or you draw.
Yes, like things like Strangling Spores is good. The Electrify is good.
Yeah.
You play everything but green.
Well, we actually kind of want green. We want mana acceleration for a deck like this. If we're running Encyclopedias, we want to be drawing like constantly off those. And the Druid of the Cows are best defensive 2-drops are 1/3s by a lot. Like our 2-drops are super bad. I mean, if we sort this by 2s, when you're looking at this, and then we sort it by creatures, like our creature 2s are pretty poor.
Yeah.
Right? Like these are our creature 2s. And I mean, when I pull these out, you can see, if we look at our 2-drops, what the hell are we going to play here? Child of Night are barely playable. Walking Corpse is not playable. Dark Dweller Oracle is okay, but it's not a defensive. It's a mid to late game aggressive deck or a sacrifice deck, neither of which synergies we can support here.
Yeah, it's the Omen Speakers.
That's our 2-drops, the Omen Speakers and the Druids. They're both 1/3s. They're very good bodies on the ground, and they do something for us. If we look at it that way, so I mean, if we look at that, and what's what happened? We started with like good stuff, and then we moved to this. So let's plug this in, and then we'll look at the 3s again, right? We have to have curve. Like that has to happen. We just can't just skip a whole bunch of this curve, right? So if we look at 3-drops, what the fuck do we have? Like our 3-drops, like this. Oh, I don't know why I pulled out the artifacts and stuff, but like our 3-drops here for creatures. Like, we have aggressively slanted red 3-drops, and then everything else is kind of mediocre. Like, I mean, we could run this as another mana accelerant, would kind of be nice. But Scholars are defensive ones, Pioneer's defensive, and then what? Like, we can do 3-drops at trade, but really the menace is kind of wasted here for us.
Yeah.
So, if we're trying to build good stuff, then a core of defensive blue-green seems fine. This guy does provide colorless mana, or mana of any color. So there's something to be said there. No, I don't think we can afford to lose the red. I mean, our 4s start to be really sweet for creatures, but they're all white.
Yes.
Like the rest of the 4-drops suck.
This pool is so...
Like our
so splintered.
Exactly. And so I see 2 decks out of this. I see red-white aggro. We're missing tokens, so we can't go wide as efficiently. But we have the 2-drops that are red, the 3-drops that are red, and the 4-drops that are white. With removal from Luminous Bonds and Shocks, and a couple finishers with things like Valiant Knights, and maybe like a Spark-Tongue Dragon or a Siegebreaker Giant or something, right? So that's red-white. And we'll construct that deck, and we'll go back to that in a minute. The other one I'm looking at is it even possible to build a deck that isn't that? And if it is, what does that look like? What are our win conditions and our payoffs? And I think the Druid of the Cows are pretty much necessary in a passive deck here. Same with the Rabid Bite and the Titanic Growth. Goreclaw is fine. Goreclaw will actually discount... Oh, it doesn't discount Sphinx. That's hilarious. Discounts Scholar, though. So what could we do if we did... let's start resetting filters here. I think it would probably be blue, green, red. I think.
Yeah, Teamer is a good option.
I mean, we lose access to Luminous Bonds. But we get a little... I mean, unfortunately, our mana fixing is white. White-green. So awkward.
You could splash the bonds if you're playing the Disciple and the 2 Tranquil Expanse.
Yeah, we're also playing Manalist. We're potentially going to.
Yeah, I think bonds are actually totally playable in that.
We want to run the encyclopedias in a deck like that. God, double Manalith though. Like you can just if you draw Manaliths and don't draw encyclopedias in this deck, you just are dead. You have so many sources of mana acceleration and not many things to do with it.
I don't know that I would play both mana lists. I think I'd just play one.
What else do we have to do with mana?
Give Knights double strike.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Yep, draw cards.
19 sometimes. The other blue stuff we have Dwindles here, got Counterspell and Dwindles. So really what we can do with our mana, if we're going to do that route where we accelerate our mana, or rather build mana sources, build blockers, is we want to build Arcane Encyclopedias and Counterspells. I don't think we get white in that. I mean, we could force a splash for white for Luminous Bonds, but we already have double Dwindle, Rabid Bite, Electrify, double Shock. Do we need Luminous Bonds?
We don't.
Do we get enough value out of the other creatures to include them? I mean, the white creatures are good. They're our best creatures by a mile. But it would be nice not to play Manaless with this.
Yeah, I agree.
And this is already 46, so we need to trim further past this.
Yeah.
How do we kill them without the white creatures?
It's got to be on the back of the dragons and the Scholar. Like, the Disciple always has to be a dragon.
He's not going to make it to be a dragon most of the time. I don't think we can ever count on him being a dragon, especially if we want to use him for mana acceleration. I mean, we can just overrun them with creatures if we can get the good enough creatures to do it. But we don't have any of the big things that... We don't have any Declare Dominances. We only have the one... I mean, we have Siegebreaker Giant to make things unblockable, but we're going to stall board states a lot with defensively shifted creatures like that. And
Yeah.
then draw, which is going to be our goal. But the another issue if we try to do that is how do we stop flyers? We're going to have to individually remove every single flyer that shows up because we don't have a single creature with reach and we don't have any defensively statted flyers. So
yeah, the removal would have to be saved for flyer
all right,
as best you can.
So we drop a Thornhide Wolves out. Maybe Salvager's a little bit greedy. Maybe not though. Does Goreclaw do a single thing for us?
Salvager doesn't get back very much because your removal is all enchantment based.
We've Shocks that Electrifies, cancels, Bone to Ash.
Yeah.
Titanic Growth. I'm okay cutting Salvager. I'm not excited by the card, don't get me wrong.
Well, and Scholar only has 2 artifacts for it to trigger as well.
Yeah. Alright. So, if we look at creatures, we're looking at blue. Blue, green, red. Okay. Don't worry about the mana base yet, chat. We're not to the point where fixing the mana base is relevant. We'll fix the cards first. The mana base will be second to that. So this is all the creatures we have. So we're on blue, green, red flyers.
Yep.
Red and green being known for their flyers, right?
Yeah, red has some.
We need 3 more cards out. It's probably something like Scholar.
I would take out a Scholar, yep.
Although that leaves us kind of weak on 3s. I think Alteration can come out.
Alteration, yes, I was going to say Alteration.
Fucking hate that card. And then one more. Honestly, our 4-drop is so non-defensive too. Like, maybe the Siegebreaker Giant.
That is not a defensive card. 3 toughness is pretty bar.
So that's what we'd be playing. We would have no mana fixing.
No, we get the Disciple.
That's true.
But we only have the 4 red sources. Well, we'd fix it. But yeah, the mana fixing this would be really rough.
Yeah, like are we going to cast Spark Tongue Dragon with 3 damage?
Yeah.
Like we're going to have 3 red sources for that? There's no way we can play this. This just isn't, there's not, again, it's like, the problem is the early game creatures. Like if we're trying to do any sort of creatures that even remotely trade in the early game, like to stall the board long enough to develop something, we have to run blue-green. And there just isn't, there's no late game for blue-green. We're missing all the blue-green flyers, like no Sky Knight, no guides, no anything, just nothing. There's no big green creatures at the end. We had the 2 big blue flyers, but neither of them are that big, and we don't have the other flyers followed up, and I don't think Wind Ranger Sphinx is a win condition. I mean, it kind of is. The 3/7 will eventually kill them, but 1 pump spell and a 3/7 and no axes? Nah.
It's really, I mean, there's also something said about like the blue-red spells, but I think even that is pretty rough.
I think I'm on red-white.
Yeah.
I just think when I look at this, like let me print screen this. I'll dump it into our paint so we can come back to it easily. But I don't think there's good enough creatures and spells to support this.
Yeah, I think it's pretty rough. I would like 1 or 2 pieces of the mana fixing and.
But I mean, this is the joy. I mean, like this may seem, I see we're losing viewers, so I assume some of you are not finding this as exciting. But this is the fun part of Sealed, is inspecting your cards, playing around with the decks you can make, looking for the best mix of consistency and power that you can come up with, and then working from that. And that requires you look around. What is that? You start with your standard dual color decks. You look at your creature bases. You look at your removal. And then you start looking at, well, can I make this stronger by adding splashes? Can I make it a more powerful deck even if it's a little bit less consistent? And I think the answer with that is probably not. We don't have the artifact synergies. We're missing just a lot of stuff. I'm not sure about inspired charges in this. We'll see in a minute. Is the stag a knight? No, it's an elk. It's an awkward creature type. Elk. So what did we do? We had 2s in red, right? That was the other color we had 2s in?
2s and 3s in red.
Okay.
We don't even have a field creeper.
Feels bad, man. We had the lava axes as the finisher, didn't we? It's too bad. I kind of would like to play the Druids and the Omen Speakers. I like Omen Speaker a lot.
Yeah, it's fine. I think this has been its weakest format that it's been in quite a while. But it still always is fine.
So this is an aggro deck with 2 Rustwing Falcons, but no way to buff them. 2 2-drops only. Straight up 2 2-drops. Fair number of 3s, but not a huge number. Sitting on 4. And a bunch of 4s. How are we going to do damage in this deck? We don't build a wide...
this doesn't excite me either.
No, we don't build a wide deck. It's all right. So we don't run encyclopedias. We don't run minotaurs because they're just worse than all the other stuff we can do here. We've got a couple flyers to get some damage in. I think we have to run lava axes with a deck like this because I don't see how we win otherwise. I don't want to run 2 inspired charges in here. I just think there's going to be too few times where we get value out of it. I'll run 1, I guess.
Yeah, I think the 1 inspired charge is fine.
Maybe I cut vengeance here. Is there like a blue-red spells thing going that we could do? Like...
Well, so looking at it, to be fair, I actually don't like looking at the cards in a sealed pool on Arena this way. I like having them like all kind of laid out a little bit differently. But now that we're going through them, I think our best opportunity might be green, white, blue, because we have some mana fix in there. There's the druids, there's the omen speakers. We get to play all the 4 mana white spells, and we get to play some flyers at the top end, and we can fill in with the removal as we go. We get the luminous bonds, we get the dwindles, we get the rabid bite.
So we're giving up shocks and electrifies, giving up our best 3-drops are definitely red, giving up our good 3-drops, and giving up lava axes for trying to do some sort of actually creature-based plan.
I think so.
Okay, well, let's put that as a 3rd option. What would you pull? This is 40, 41. What would be your last card here? Rustwing?
Yeah, one of the Falcons.
Okay. Grab that, add that.
Well, actually, it might be one of the lava axes, sorry. Do we want to run 2 lava axes?
Yeah, it's desperately doing this deck. This deck never kills anything.
It's one of those 2, but...
Okay. We'll grab
There's some games where Rustwing Falcon does 5 damage for 1 mana, but...
Yeah. It's just we don't have any of the things that are payoffs for Rustwings, which are axes or enchants. So makes that pretty painful. But we'll grab that, crop the selection, and then we'll take the final deck combination, which is blue. What did you want? Blue, green, white?
Yep.
Okay. Let's have a look at that. Looks... Could get the draw cards in, which should be nice. I like getting the Scholar and the Sphinx used. Blue, green, white. It's gonna be mana issues. I mean, I guess we get the Tranquil Expanses to help. We'll run the Mentalist for now and remove them in a second, so we can look like we're doing work. Cards to stall the board. Mana Accelerant there. And we could, if we're running blue, green, white, we could Oaken Form. What's it called? Gift of Paradise for mana fixing. Titanic Growth, Rabid Bite, Double Druid of the Cowl. Okay. Scholar maybe. Alright, so we pull Rustwings. We pull Anticipate, we can throw into the maybe pile. Same with Disperse. I think we don't want Alteration. I'm not sure. I mean, our 3s are really weak creature-wise. Now we can just develop a thing. It's amazing we didn't hit any divinations off commons from this.
They're weak, but like I think the Tellurian Scholar is still one of those necessary evils. It's 2/3. It blocks all the 2/1s. It blocks all the 1/3s.
I mean, we have a shit ton of removal on 3 too. We could argue for and cancels. I don't know about GIF. Like GIF fixes our mana to make it a little bit more reasonable, but it's very slow and clunky. I don't know about Oaken Form. It seems like really not what we're trying to do with this deck.
Yes.
Okay, Oaken Form guaranteed out. What do we need? We're at like 56. We need a lot out here. 4s are a little bit aggressive right now. Priest is good. Cav's good. Stag is good. Knight's good. Scholar's probably not good enough here. Bristling Boar is not where we want to be. I'm not convinced we want Goreclaw in this deck. It does discount. It discounts some shit, but a 4/3 blocker is terrible.
Yeah, I think that's in the maybe pile. I don't know if this is the inspired charge deck though either.
Maybe we want to run. Oh, I don't want inspired charge in here. Oops, that's just left in there. Sorry. I do want Angel in here. It's just a decent flying attacker. So I don't think Lena is where we want to be. Don't really like Lena very much. All of
No,
our
but I'm like
removal. Go on.
I'm liking the look of this deck more than the other one.
Yeah, although I'm not super excited yet. Chat did remind me that we can remove bombs with metamorphic alteration. Although
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure I like that idea. But we can change our scholars into non-shitty cards too. It's just you always get 2 for 1 with that card is the problem. I don't think this is a Star Crown Stag deck as much as I would like to.
It's not. It's not a tempo aggressive.
Priests are good here. Cab's good here.
Yep.
Knight's okay here.
I think it's fine.
Defensively curved. I don't think I want Goreclaw. I know it discounts this shit. I just don't think it's good enough here.
Yeah, I think that can.
I am unconvinced about that card. I like Take Vengeance with this deck.
Because we should be on the defensive more so than being aggressive.
Yeah, I don't want Anticipate. Don't think I want Disperse.
Do we have good Rabid? Oh, Rabid Bite, I guess. We have just 2 power things? That's probably so.
That's fair. There's the issue with how do we kill anything with Rabid Bite? Yeah, we don't have any of the Basilisk. I guess there's an argument for Rabid Bite out. 6 cards out. Both Thornhide Wolves and Bailiffs are big blockers. Bailiff on the 2 green mana, unfortunately. So I don't want to run Manalist in this deck. But we have to have...
I don't have to.
Yeah, but green... We have to have green and blue early to do anything.
Yeah.
So that means white is our splash color. Okay. Do we have to run Gift of Paradise with this?
No, because the green-white lands, I think, are fine.
All right. 3 more out. Omen Speakers. These are good 2s. The 3s are pretty weak. Can we support 2 of these? And the cancels and the dwindles and the luminous bonds? We have no removal besides luminous bonds and dwindle for when shit resolves. Let's hope they never play a Vine Mare.
Okay.
Or if we can counter it. Maybe Dwarven Priest out. Getting pretty low on creatures though. 15.
Yeah, Priest can come out. I think getting the life gain is really good, but...
And what's our win condition again? We draw ourselves till we're out of cards?
No, we kill a bunch of stuff and we attack him with the Balos and the Scholar Angel. I don't know. This is also looking scary.
Yeah. Well, this is the reason to break it down and actually look at it. Can we cut 1 Scholar? Probably not. 4 and 3 there, and then only 2 there.
No. It
So
might be
what's
the
last
cancel.
card? Cancel.
I don't know. It's. Do we need 2 of the encyclopedias?
I can get behind just removing 1. All right. So that's the 17. Okay, we can fix the land in a second. Okay, so that's the 3. Oops, that's the 3 that we're looking at, chat. And we'll take a look together on stream in just a second as I fire it up, and we can look at the 3 options that come out of the sealed pool. Sealed pool is not good, and honestly, a good sealed pool makes for boring streaming because it's so easy. I mean, it makes for fun games, but it's really easy to see what comes out of that. Like the deck you make is really obvious if all your rares line up and it all fits together perfectly. So the more complicated build to me is a little bit more interested to watch because you see what do the other players come up with out of this. So, all right, we'll dump that into there and I'll put it in and we'll have a look together at which 3 to compare for rough strength. I don't see any other archetypes that we can really support. None of these are running black. We don't have any black cards. So, I mean, we can take a quick look.
Just a removal, yeah.
Right. I mean, we could have a quick look to see, but I don't think so. I mean, like, how do I make a deck out of these cards? None of the 2s are playable. There's 1 playable 3, 2 playable 4s, 3 playable 4s, and a 5. That's a very light splash for no particular... I mean, we could do white-black with that, but man, doesn't feel good. Okay.
No.
Let me throw paint to the top. We'll take a look at the 3 options available to us. Option 1 is this is the blue-green, blue-green-white. What is that?
That's Bant.
Bant. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Blue, green, white. So we kill them with Horizon Scholar or Wind Reader. I don't think anything else there is good enough. Like, okay, so our early game is stabilize the board. We're going to stall. We're not going to break the stall at 4, although we do have some weird Knight Cavalry combination at some point possible. We sit around with Cancel and Bone to Ash and Arcane Encyclopedia, draw a bunch of cards. Then we play 1 of 3 flyers and try to kill them with Scholar, Sphinx, and Angel of Dawn.
Yep.
And we never force them to use removal before then because none of our creatures are scary.
It's either that or we play bad red white semi aggro.
Well, we get 3, so that's the first.
Yeah.
This is the red white aggro. Missing 2 drops, couple 3s. We have Lava Axe plus Gutter Snipe plus Shock to the Face as like the most joyful thing ever.
I actually kind of want to do that, to be honest.
I think it may actually be the best one. We're using our white creatures and our white removal and our red damage dealing spells, which is about the best cards in the pool.
Yeah.
And then this is the third. This is the third one. This is, what did you call it? Timic? Teamer. Like
Yep.
tumor with an E.
Kind of TEMUR.
Okay, so Teamer. We maybe don't have to run double encyclopedias there. This is again a little bit slower. So we get the red removal. So what are we giving up between this and the other one? So between these two.
We have the Disciple and the Spark-Tongue Dragon.
The mana base is much worse, it looks like, on the white, red, green.
There's no fixing.
Or the blue, red, green. Yeah, no fixing. Yeah, I don't believe in that deck with no mana fixing. Especially when you're 2s. You have to go heavy blue, green.
Yeah, you're splashing red, kind of, but not even really that.
There's not even a Gutter Snipe in that one.
Nope.
What if we pulled out Arcane Encyclopedias, putting Gutter Snipe and 2 Lava Axes, took out Bone to Ash? I think I want to do the white-red one.
Yep.
It's just... So this one is okay. It seems like a very slow win condition in a deck that isn't so... that we can run out of win conditions and run out of time to get there. Like, if we just draw ourselves to death, all right, it takes 40 minutes and you still lose.
Yeah.
This one we'll lose in about 5 minutes, I think. Would you play, maybe we take Vengeance here? Do we have another? No 2s, of course.
I don't think this deck is aggressive enough to cut the Take Vengeance. We're going to get attacked early.
Okay. So our goal is literally just to do 10 damage with this deck. And then Lava Axe them twice.
Yes.
So Gutter Snipe we should be really careful about turning Gutter Snipe off early.
Yeah.
All right, well, quick games. So going through that, yeah. This has the better early game by a lot compared to that last deck, but I don't see how we win.
Yeah, winning's going to be tough.
And then this one here.
Yeah, the Boros deck just flat loses to the black-white life gain.
Yes. Yep. We'll lose the black-white life gain, which is slow enough that you can play it in sealed. I'm not sure any of these other ones beat black life game. What happened? I mean, none of. I mean, Boros has the same chance as this one to remove the. Like you know the 2/4 lifelink, the 2/4 guy who generates bats.
The Bloodlord.
Yeah. Can you imagine this deck versus him? You can dwindle it.
Yeah.
You can Luminous Bonds it. If he attacks with it, you can take Vengeance. Otherwise, you get to watch as he produces 1/1 bats per turn. That will kill you.
Yes.
And he can't attack you with them because Wind Raider Sphinx, but you can't attack him with them either.
We can play the Rabid Bite in that deck.
Yeah, we do 3 damage Rabid Bites. It doesn't kill him either.
Yeah, there's a 5/5.
There's 1 5/5.
And a 3/7.
So if this one had better mana base, this is my actual, as cards go, I prefer these cards.
Yes, I agree.
Can we get away with this mana base? Can we make it work?
We've played against people who've gotten away with it today, so sure.
So if we ran, like, what are we even looking at with that? Maybe we cut Bailiff and make it the 4/5 so it's never 2 green. And then... Oh,
but the Druids get us double green.
And we got to have the Druids early anyway, so we got to run a lot of green. So it's red. We got to figure out sources of red.
It might be the Spark-Tongue Dragon comes out, or we play a Manolith and only 1 Encyclopedia. But I don't like that idea either.
Double blue on 3, double green.
Well, your double blue is not going to be on 3. You're never going to... I mean, very rarely you're going to cancel on 3 where they play something that is...
Jesus, could you imagine running this deck with running Shocks with only 4 red mana sources?
No.
I can't either. Okay, I'm on Boros. It's close. It's close between this and Boros, but I don't trust the mana base on this. So I'm on this one. You with me?
Yep.
All right.
Still here.
Then we'll do...
Oh, not that guy. Oh, with you. Yeah. Totally. It's great.
Good answer.
No, this is...
Oh, man. All right, a lot of time spent thinking about that, chat, which I think is reasonable. You're gonna spend your hour. You have to draft your sealed deck or whatever it is. You get an hour, 15 minutes elsewhere. I don't know. All right, let's grab white, red, an artifact. Let's start. What do we end up with? Get rid of that. Grab this. Build the deck. Looking at 2 shocks and a Rustwing. I might even go up another Rustwing. We just want to do 10 damage and then draw lava axes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But 13 damage.
Bogart Brute, Gutter
14.
Snipe, Electrify, Lava Axes, Giant, Dragon, 1 Inspired Charge. Priest didn't make. Priest made the cut. That's scary. Would we prefer a more aggressively curved creature to a priest? 3/3.
Yeah, maybe. Just doesn't have any synergies, unfortunately.
Yeah. So it's this.
Well,
This is 41.
The hostile Minotaur over the Artificer.
Oh no. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm over the priest.
Yeah.
You'd rather
You're gonna
hostile
play-
Minotaur just for a little bit of damage?
Sure.
Okay, I can get behind that. We need 1 more out. Let's double Inspired Charge. Okay, so this is what we're running, huh? Probably without the Tranquil Expanses. And a
Yes.
little bit more fixed here. For 8, I think. 8, 9. We do want to have red. We don't have to have double red. Double red is nice with shock, though. Still running that. Okay, let's bring it.
Yeah,
let's
9
bring it
looks
through.
good.
What do you want to call it? Still here?
Yep.
All right. Lava Axe is sick. I like that. I think this is the perfect image for it. I'm going to restart the client, and then we're going to give this deck a whirl, see where we get with it. So,
All right.